Salute to you all. The brave never fall. Self-love through freedom and connection. So feel free to connect to The Brave Never Fall on these social media platforms. If you find anything of value in this following podcast, hit that like button, subscribe and share, and support the brave and bold tribe growing one purposeful soul at a time. There are no coincidences in life. The strength you have is real. Each breath you take is a blessing. Don't give up, give more. Believe in yourself and trust yourself. How are you feeling? Take a moment to do a self-check-in for yourself. How are you feeling mentally? How are you feeling emotionally? How are you feeling physically? How are you feeling spiritually? Are you feeling balanced? Are you still journeying on an intentional, purposeful path? How are you feeling? Balancing yourself is a healthy daily practice that will reliably keep you in harmony with your entire mind, body, heart, and soul. Clear your mind. Take a moment of silence for yourself right now in the moment. You are here now. How are you feeling? To know success is to live victorious. Victories is what we're looking for each and every day. And I would think that most people would believe that a victory equals success. You don't hear people say, I'm victorious in failure. But in some ways, in a lot of ways, we can look at it that way, that you can pretty much find victory in anything. Again, as I talk about all the time, perception is everything. You can fail at something and gain a huge victory by addition, by subtraction. You can fail at something and gain a huge victory by learning something invaluable that you never would have learned if you hadn't gone through that failure. So we can find success in failure just as much as we find success in success and failure in failure. It's the perception. Is the glass half empty or is it half full? Are you pessimistic or are you optimistic? Where do you believe you belong in the scheme of things when it comes to how you perceive yourself in the world? It's all a mindset. It's how we feel. It's how we choose to view things. And even when our minds and our bodies and our hearts and our souls sway us from leaning towards positivity, leaning towards looking at things through a positive lens, when things go wrong, when people leave our lives, when we lose the things we have and we're no longer in the places that we love to be, it's us only we can do the work to get ourselves in a place and to get ourselves mentally in a state where we see things in a positive manner, even in failure. We're not always going to be successful, but there's always a victory to be found if you choose to look for it. Gaining small victories each day adds up to even bigger victories in time. The dedication of achieving the highest level of success for yourself allows you to effortlessly stay in the mindset of growth, development, creation, and self-mastery. It's not a great feeling to go a whole day just to rest at night feeling unfulfilled and empty. To know that you had the ability to do far more than you did, yet you chose without any resistance from anyone not to do it. To reject the chance to accomplish something great, take on something challenging, or finish something you started. Not a great feeling at all. In fact, it often leaves us feeling insecure, lazy, and undisciplined. It's not enough to be inspired and motivated. Wishing, wanting, needing, hoping, and praying is not enough. At some point, action is needed. In order to find security in life and to find success, we must first rid ourselves of insecurities and failure. We have to change limited beliefs to unlimited beliefs, fear into bravery, inaction into action, hesitation into boldness, fakeness into being genuine. We have to be true to ourselves and truthful to ourselves. No bullshit, no lies, no exaggerations, just the truth of who we really are. You know what you can do, so do it. Don't try it, do it. Become the person you know you should be, not who you want to be. There's no victory in doing nothing. No success in standing in stasis. No growth in making excuses or playing the victim in life. Success is rewarded to those and only those who earn it. To those who had the will to gain a victory as often as possible each day, no matter how small and insignificant those victories seem to be. It's the disciplined mindset that matters, the action that matters, the growth that matters, the commitment to our fulfillment and purpose that matters, the passion we lead our families with that matters, the unconditional love we gift to others that matters, the hope and inspiration we spread that matters, and the life we live, peace and purpose that matters. That's security. That's victory. Valor under Moonbows, Episode 11, The Security of Victory. Sometimes in life, we need to feel more than we can see. We need to feel more than we need to see. If we close our eyes right now, and even the people out there who don't have sight, we all have something in common. Sight, no sight, we still can feel. We can feel everything. Some may say, well, what happens when you're numb? That's a feeling too. Feeling nothing is a feeling. We're always feeling. It's part of the human construct. It's who we are. It's what we were born with. Human beings are based on feelings. And what we get out of life dictates how much time we spend in each facet of our life, which category, what mood. Are we spending most of our lives in bad feelings, unpleasant, ugly, horrible feelings? Are we spending most of our life in pleasant, joyful, fulfilling feelings? Each person's journey is different. Each person's journey is their own. It's unique as you see a fucking unicorn. It's unique. We all have bouts of ourselves that people may like. We all have time periods where we're liked by many, and some people we don't even know why we're liked by them at all because we don't like them. This is the way it goes, right? In life, we don't know what's going to happen from one day to the next, who we're going to meet, who we're going to lose, what we're going to acquire, what's going to go up in flames, where we're going to visit, where we're never going to see again. We don't know. Taking things for granted in life and not looking at things in the proper perspective will put you in that mindset of comfortability when you really don't have any. Security when you really don't have any. I'm sure I could speak for us all, anyone listening to this. We thought we had something secured just to lose it. We thought we had a relationship secured just to lose it. We thought we had the job secured just to lose it. The church secured just to lose it. The school just to lose it. The goal just to lose it. The money just to lose it. The health just to lose it. The family members just to lose it. The best friends just to lose it. We've all experienced every single one of those things in some form or fashion. Now let's turn that on its head. We've all had the opposite of that as well. In some form or fashion, we've gained. We've gained great relationships and secured financial freedom for even the shortest period of time. We had relationships, even if it's for a short period of time, where we thought, this is it. I got it. It's a perception thing. We're always going to look at the worst of when things happen instead of in real time appreciating what we actually have, which in turn, a lot of times will create the situations where those things that you think you're going to lose, you end up losing them. You think this person, you're so afraid of losing this person, and you're going to do whatever it takes not to lose them. That's when you lose them. You think you have the perfect career and you couldn't see yourself working anywhere else. That's when you get fired. That is how life works. It's that balance. It's karma, some people would say. And as my coach tells me and preaches himself, you cannot go through life wondering and hoping and praying that things are going to be secure for you because you need them. And that's something me and my coach really agree on, is that needing things is often when you are not going to get them. The moment you stop not needing them is when you'll get them. And we talk about this a lot. And it's something that I learned the hard way. And just like anything else in life, finding security in any area of your life, sometimes it comes easy to some people. And other times it's very difficult for people to pick up that quote unquote skill of keeping and maintaining their security. Because just like any security, you're going to have breaches. There are going to be things that are going to test your security. There are going to be things that are going to come at you and they're going to test you, all your weak points. They're going to test every single thing about you, regardless if they're doing it on purpose or not. And I'm saying it doesn't always have to be a person. It could be anything. Why? Because it's how we perceive it. You ever talk to someone and they say, yesterday nearly ruined my life. Well, I got to tell you, I would love to meet yesterday. If it's a person, could you please send them to every single person in this planet's house or their country or their government? Knock on the door. Yes, who is this? I'm yesterday. What? I'm yesterday. Nice to meet you. I'm here to serve. What can I do for you? You invite yesterday in. Yesterday comes in and goes, this is freaking gorgeous. I love your house. I love your country. Wow, your family's awesome. Excuse me. And then they burn your house down. They punch you in the face. They give your cat too much milk. They do whatever they can, like the commercial, Mr. Havoc. They do whatever they can to wreak havoc upon your life. This yesterday character. And then they leave. They shut the door, and then before they can even get down the street, the door falls down as well. So what are we saying here? Yesterday treated you bad? No. Yesterday is not a thing. Yesterday is time. Yesterday is gone. But as I always say, if time is our friend, which is what I believe, time is not our enemy, time is our ally and our friend. So that means if you could meet yesterday would be your greatest coach ever. Well, you say, what about future? Wouldn't the future be? No. Because if there was a future that you could talk to, a construct, they're going to warp your mind perceptually. They could walk up to you and say, you know what? You're going to be broke in 10 years. You know how bad that would mess you up? Future is not your friend. In that case, it can be if you look at it in the right context. You might say, oh, okay, well, I'll get my act together. But what if future was lying to you? What if future didn't see something? Yesterday's better because you already know what happened. The lessons from yesterday can be learned far more than any lesson you can learn from the future. The future is not set in stone. You haven't done anything yet. Today is your professor. It's guiding you. It's saying, this is today's assignment. I want you to complete this assignment today. Yesterday is yesterday's newspaper. You can go back and read it and say, how did this line up? But not working on all levels as far as growth. But I would say if we get to a place in life, as I always say, when you get to a place in life and you need answers and you need to grow, yesterday is where you want to go to. You want to see, what did I do yesterday that I can improve upon? Because we're creating the character of the future. We're securing our placement in the future and where we're going to be. Yesterday and future are the same, except future is just a 10-year-old or 10-year or 5-year, or you could say, like, just time-wise, just hypothetically speaking, it's a much younger sibling of yesterday. That's all it is. And once you get to future, future is yesterday. So if you're talking to the future tomorrow and you get past tomorrow, then that's yesterday as well. What did you learn? So we have to focus on, as far as growth, can we reflect, as we talked about in episode 10, can we reflect and find some peace in what we learned from yesterday? But let's be clear. Yesterday is not out to hurt you. Your memories are not out to hurt you. Your past is not out to hurt you. Time is not out to hurt you. The only person who can hurt you is you. Now we're talking internally here. Remember, we're talking about eyes closed and we're feeling here. We're not talking about outside forces coming to attack us. We're talking about what we can control here. We have to get off of this victimhood mentality of always worrying about what the person, place, or thing is doing to hurt us, to distract us, to get us to do something that we're not comfortable with. There's always going to be something you're not comfortable with. How do we secure even the people who want to be super comfortable and the people who are out there pushing the envelope and believing that the sky is not the limit? And that doesn't mean you have to be one stream or the other. I feel like I'm both. I love to be comfortable, but I also like pushing myself. There's a time and a place for everything. But when you're securing victories, how do we do it? How do we do it? How do we get to a place in our lives where we feel secure no matter what is going on in our lives? No matter how bad things get, no matter who's in our life and who's not in our life, where do we get to a point in our lives where we have to find security in who we are and not just rely on being comfortable? Feelings of insecurity, doubt, hesitation, paranoia, anxiety, depression. Pick a disorder that can be on that spectrum as well. You don't gain from not addressing these issues. There's a lot of people out there who like to ignore their issues. They don't want to face the reality of who they are, who they really are, even though they know who they are. And even if they don't know who they are and they don't know what's going on, they will not seek the help or appreciate the support they get from those who are actively trying to help them or could help them. It's self-responsibility, the ownership and accountability of your own happiness. Growth is about gaining. It's about bringing things to you and expanding. And then when you expand outwards. I always call them strands. Your strands of love, your knowledge, your peace, everything about you should extend out of you, and it should affect other people. Because again, as I said in episode 10, our jobs here on this planet is to reproduce, is to grow, is to pass on what we've learned, how we feel, the knowledge. Everything about us should be passed on. Our stories, our memories. We try to pass as much as we can on as possible, so we're not forgotten by the people we care for most. So when we're gaining in life, when we're growing in life, we have to also remember we're here to give. In any relationship or anything that's important in your life, if you want something in your life, you have to give back. You can't just take and take and take and not give back. Life is about giving. Relationships are about giving. You go into any relationship to give. You do the work on yourself so you can give positively to others. And we grow through making ourselves better and molding a better person each and every day. One small victory at a time. One small act of kindness a day goes a long way. One page of a book each day goes a long way. 1 hour of doing something that you really don't want to do because you could be on the couch watching Netflix, but you know this is harder, eating better, being disciplined in general. All these things add up to big victories, and it works. One of the things I've learned so much in life is that when you feel like things aren't working, the more you do something over and over and over again on a small level, they just grow and grow and grow and grow. And then you don't have to worry about it anymore. It becomes discipline. And when you don't do these things, you're upset with yourself. I get upset with myself if I don't run at least 2 to 3 times a week. And I could run every day if I had the time and my body will respond to it. But the things I can do every day, like learn something, be kind to people, I can do those things every day. I can be a good person. I can enter my relationships to give. I can go harder at work. I can be respectful of everybody, every place, and everything around me. I can stay away from things that harm me. I could be always on a mission to understand what I'm supposed to be doing in life. With no guidance system, how do you know what to do? It's hard to gain victories in life that reach a higher goal for yourself. So if we have higher goals, if we say, because everybody has New Year's resolutions. So if you go into New Year's and you say, wow, I have this big goal that I want to get done in 12 months. It's much easier to look at it if, let me break this goal down into 12 different parts. What would it take? The first 30 days of the year, I'm going to do this. Let's look at them in smaller increments. Let's look at them in 30-day increments. Because when you look at something that big, by the end of the year, 12 months from now, 365 days, at that specific time, I'm going to reach my goal. On December 31st, I'm going to hit my goal. That's really hard to plan out. It's much easier to say, I got a goal and I'm going to take it 30 days at a time. If I reach my goal by August, great. Then I got 4 more months to expand upon my goal. If I reach my goal 2 months after the new year, who cares? I still reached something that was significant. Again, we put too much emphasis on time. We let time dictate our actions instead of us taking action against time. Time is just there. You want to fight against it? Fight against it. I do it all the time. I can't tell you how many times a day where I'm like, I don't give a shit what time of day it is. I'm doing this. It doesn't matter to me. Time does not exist to me. I'm like a vampire. If I didn't have to sleep, I wouldn't. I'd be out working 24 hours a day. Anybody who knows me knows that. But I can depress and I can turn it off and I can relax. Again, it's about balance. You got to know when to turn it up, baby. And you got to know when to turn it down, baby. You got to get out here and make things happen for you instead of waiting for time to make the decisions for you. Because it always will. Time, if you don't do anything, time will always make the decision for you. And usually it doesn't have your best interests in mind. These are the same people who believe yesterday is out to burn their house down. Yesterday is just something you're perceiving to be a nuisance in your life. You have people who are afraid and scared to death of tomorrow as if it's a person. What about tomorrow? Do you see it? Check again. It's like, will you relax? Now, let's just say here, I love the fact that people are that heightened because that means you care. It goes back to that feeling thing. You ever talk to someone who doesn't give a shit? What did you do yesterday? I don't know. Oh, what are you doing tomorrow? I don't care. You're like, wow, this person is literally dead inside. What is driving this person? Where's the motivation, the inspiration, the passion? Now, we can't make this person do what we believe they should do. That would be judgmental. That would be overcritical. That would be manipulative and controlling. And we just don't want to do those things. We don't tell people, we don't overly criticize people for what they want to do. If that's what that person wants to do and they're comfortable in it, so be it. But if you're listening to this, you want more than that. And tomorrow is not a boogeyman. Tomorrow is not a monster. It's not a titan. It's just something that's in your mind that's getting in your way if you allow it. How do you defeat tomorrow? By prepping for it today. We talk so much about yesterday and tomorrow. People go through today like it's some kind of a vacation. Today is not a vacation. Just because you overcome something the day before and you got something big to do tomorrow doesn't mean you take a vacation day off today. Because the problem is that cycle continues. Again, yesterday is going to become tomorrow. And if you get caught in that cycle of, well, I did just enough yesterday and I know I got a huge day, or at least I should have a huge day tomorrow, I'm going to take it easy today. Bad way to go. Bad way to go. Because you did yesterday at that point in time was called today. Yesterday at some point was called today at one point, I should say. And what was your excuse for not doing anything then? Probably the same thing. You got to take those chains that are holding you to procrastination, being undisciplined, not having purpose, drive, not having the ability to perceive what you can do and all the victories that you can gain each day. You got to take that fucking chain and you got to figure out a way to break it apart and sever yourself from those things. And those chains are thick for some people. And it's going to take a lot of ingenuity, a lot of patience and time to break those chains free. But the goal is to break free of those chains, because you will go nowhere. You will not grow. You will stand there rotting to death if you don't break free of those things. But it's your responsibility. You have to do it. You have to know what you can and cannot do. You ever have somebody walk up to you and give you some unsolicited advice about how your life should go, and it irritated you? Now, this person may be right or wrong, but that unsolicited advice hit you at the core. When somebody says, "When's the last time you've been to the gym?" Ouch! That hurts, doesn't it? How come you didn't know that? Where have you been? Living under a rock? Ouch. It hurts. Some people live life not caring about life, and some people live life on fear of missing out. FOMO. Fear of missing out. I'm one of those people. I don't want to miss out. I want to see everything that life gives us. I'm fear of missing out on life. I'm in fear of it, if you want to say that. And that's probably the only fear that I like. And I'm using that generally. This is quote unquote fear. I don't actually fear anything to be. There are things that I do fear, but like losing a loved one, we all have fears, but some certain fears you have no control over. Having a fear of losing a loved one is different than having a fear of, I can't take this job because I'm afraid there might be too many people working there and I don't want to interact with them. That's a different type of fear. That's anxiety. I don't have anxiety about a family member dying. I've already been through that. So if anything, I'm not numb to it, but I have been to a lot of funerals and unexpected ones, from murders all the way to natural deaths, from babies all the way up to people who were almost 100 years old. So death has been a part of my life ever since obviously I can remember, but also I've been to a lot of weddings. I've seen a lot of childbirths, or not seen it, not seen it, but I've been around a lot of family members who've had, child, and my own child. So those, it's, again, balance. But that unsolicited advice, when it comes in, if it hits you on that right chord, boy, oh boy, not a good feeling. We can find out for ourselves if somebody was going to come give us that unsolicited advice about who we are in judgmental ways, we can do that work ourselves. We don't need someone else to tell us that, unless we want to. I personally like when people tell me stuff like that, because it kind of, I don't care. It doesn't matter to me what people think. And if it resonates with me, if I've had best friends of mine say, "You're fat." And I'm like, "Oh, well, I didn't know I was fat." They're not telling you this. If you trust these people and they're good people, even if they're poking fun at you, they're doing it because they love you. They're doing it because they love you and they care about you. And you have people who do it because they don't care about you. Either way, how we respond, how we react, and how we feel is going to tell us how we really feel about ourselves, about whatever it is they pointed out. Somebody looks at you and says, "Hey, you're not going anywhere in life." And you look at them like, "Fuck you," but you're still chained up to a tree in the middle of nowhere, and you don't know how to get free of those thick chains that are holding you back. Was that person wrong? Or were they just wrong for pointing it out to you in an unfriendly manner? It's a perception thing. It doesn't really matter what that person said. You're still stuck to a fucking tree in the middle of nowhere with thick chains that you don't seem capable of breaking free of. And the goal is to break free, is to be free in this world. Financial freedom, the freedom to love, and the freedom to enter relationships, to be a gift to the other person, the freedom to seek out the careers that we want, especially if we have the opportunities to do it. There's a lot of countries out there, a lot of third world countries that want the opportunity and we'll never get it. If we are fully capable of doing something, there's no excuse not to do it if you want it. It's all about who you are. It's all about what you want. What do you want from life? What do you need from life? Maybe you're needing too much. Maybe you're a little bit too needy. Maybe you should just look at what you do have and say, this thing that I have is far better than anything that I had before. And it may not be as good as anything I'm going to acquire, but right now it serves me very well. And I'm going to do everything to secure it. Because that thing brings me success. That thing brings me victory. It makes me feel fulfilled and it's aligned with my purpose. And I love myself and respect myself for identifying and being grateful for this thing. And we can apply that to a person. This person came into my life. This person is not perfect. This person has supported me and has been there for me. And I need to not look at what this person did yesterday or what this person could be in the future. What is this person doing right now? And I'm going to do whatever I can to secure this. However, and we can do this with places as well, but however, we're not applying the word need to any of these things. We're grateful that they're in our lives, but we can move on and survive without them. Unless it's essential to your survival, unless it's oxygen, food, and water, you don't need shit. If you live in a cold climate and you need clothing, you need that. There's a difference between needing and needing. The right things will show up in your life when you don't need them. Success will enter your life when you choose to secure it. Because once you grab any amount of success, you've grabbed onto something positive. Now you take that success, you open up a trunk or a safe or whatever it is, you throw it in there, you clamp that down, you bolt it up and say, you're not going anywhere. You're mine. I don't need you, but I see that you're aligned with my purpose and you're a bonus to my life. I appreciate you and I'm grateful for you. But when it's time for me to let you go, I'm going to unlock this. I'm going to let you go because I don't need you. I just appreciate you and I love you and thank you for making me feel whole. Person, place, or thing. We do these things because we recognize what we want. We have to get down to the core of who we are with our values and our morals and our principles, and we have to see what it is that makes us happy in life, what brings us joy and strength and peace and happiness and wellness. These things we have to secure for ourselves. We can't rely on other people, places, and things to give us these things. We have to find out, identify, self-evaluate, reflect on who we are. And we secure anything good in our life because it serves us and we're serving whatever it is that we want, not what we need. Especially when it comes to people. We don't need people. We don't need places. We don't need things. We need to worry about what we can do for ourselves. The better off we are, you won't have to need. It'll be there for you. The things that you're aligned with will be there for you. It's not about needing. It's about enjoying at that point. You put too much pressure on yourself to want something and keep something or someone or someplace in your life without securing the things about you that needs to be anchored down, your mind, your body, your heart, and your soul. The moment you get rid of insecurities about yourself and limited beliefs, you know who you are, those chains are going to break and you'll be free. Pledge with me and listen to these words carefully. We're going to do this almost affirmation style because this is needed. I'm going to repeat this and repeat this and repeat this, and I want you to repeat this with me. I am the strongest person that I know. Although I was once weak, today, here and now, I am the strongest person that I know. I know tomorrow may bring me rain. I know tonight may bring me pain. I know someday I may go insane, but I will never live my life in vain, because I am the strongest person that I know. No one can take my strength away from me but me. No one can reduce me to weakness but myself. No one can push me to failure but myself. And no one can make me ascend to the level that I know I need to be but myself. I pledge today and tomorrow and the day after tomorrow that I will remain in this strength. I will remind myself daily that I am the strongest person I know. I will live in peace. I will live in purpose. And I will live in discipline, because I am the strongest person I know. This is your day. You are here now. These are your moments. You own them. You are brave, bold, powerful. You do believe in yourself. You know you have more in the tank. You know the glass is half full. There's still more room for improvement. There is no end. Believe, believe, believe in yourself. Trust yourself. Trust that you can do whatever it takes to accomplish whatever you want from life. You don't procrastinate. You don't embellish. You don't lie. You are true to yourself always. Knowledge is in your mind. Peace is in your heart. Balance is in your body. Purpose is in your soul. You are greatness. The sky is not the limit. You have purpose, fulfilling, intentful purpose. You are here for a reason. You are unique. You are self-love, self-discipline, self-respect, self-control. You have self-awareness. You are joy, peace, and happiness. You are freedom, and you're connected to every person, place, and thing in the universe. And if no one has told you this today, I love you. You deserve to hear that. Salute to you all. The brave never fall. Learn, laugh, and level up.